you know it, Toronto Womxn in data science. That is a group that was created to inspire and empower the 1 million plus data-literate women. And it includes mentorship and networking opportunities.
Plus, there is a huge focus on diversity. Joining us now is the founder and executive director, Kishawna Peck. Good morning, Kishawna.
Morning.
Happy International Women's Day to you.
Good morning and happy International Women's Day.
Could you please tell us how this all started?
It all started by accident, actually. I was looking for professional development activities to do myself, so like conferences and workshops. And I had found a women's organization for data science, but it was all the way in the States. And as I was going through their website, I noticed they had an ambassador program. And I was like, oh, someone should apply for this because there's nothing in Toronto. I sat around and I mused around the website for about 5 more minutes, and I was like, you could do it. You could put on a conference. Wow. And I convinced myself to apply. They accepted me, and I planned my first conference in 6 weeks.
Wow. And Kishawna, like, you know, this baffles me. One, yes, round of applause, but two, that something like this didn't exist already here in Canada. But now enter the COVID-19 pandemic, and here you are trying to plan a conference and trying to gather women. How do you shift? What did you do to change during this time?
Well, the first thing we did is we took a seat. So instead of trying to push programming that we wouldn't know how to operate properly, we took some time to learn how to operate in this new world with virtual events. So our first virtual events will be our annual conference, which is on April 28th and 29th. And it's completely virtual, and we've planned all the programming for the rest of the year as well to be virtual.
That's awesome.
So I would say our key was taking some time back.
And speaking of, Kishawna, I know like many of us, the pandemic hit you hard mentally. So you turned to poetry. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I actually did. So when I was younger, I used to write poetry all the time. And right before the pandemic shut us down, I had a bit of a health scare. So I took some time, and because the whole world was paused, well, most of it was paused, I had time to kind of pause within myself, and I wrote a poetry book about love, mental health, and wellness, and career and work. So I actually published it. It's available on my website and also in some bookstores as well.
That is incredible. You touched on probably everything that we should really tap into, but mental health is such an important one at this time. And to be able to think about work and where your mind is right now and where your family life is right now, it is all very much intertwined. So thank you for putting all of your beautiful thoughts to paper so that we can all share with the world. I want to ask you about the future of women in data science. What do you think it's going to look like? What do you think it should look like?
I think especially with the automation age coming up, if there's not actionable insights and like actionable programming for women to upskill into data professions, that women will be left behind. So what I'm hoping is that there'll be more programming like ours to upskill women so that they can enter into data professions, and there'll be more of an equal playing field as we move into this more technological world.
So true. We keep reading about the She Session and that women were the first to be laid off and the last to be hired back in. So this would help secure their livelihoods in so many ways. Where do we find more information, Kishawna?
So you can find more information at womxdsto.com. And we also just launched the tickets for the conference, and we're having our own swag fundraiser as well. So there's different ways to support.
You're wonderful.
Awesome.
Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much.
Amazing work. You know, it really does get you thinking about some of the amazing work that so many people are doing out there and that we can be doing.
Definitely.
And also, we didn't mean to dress.
Twinning!
Twinning
I
on
swear
purpose.
we didn't call each other in advance.
No, we did not. Anyway. All right, so coming up after the break, everyone wants to know about our vaccination program right here in Canada. Is it ramping up? Well, we need the doses to make that happen. Well, the good news is more deliveries this week. Coming up, how BC is going to handle distribution on the West Coast. And then also we're talking about Quebec loosening more restrictions after the province saw the most COVID-19 deaths in the past year. We'll break it all down for you coming up next.